Okay, class, now that we have a clean slate, we need to get started with our lessons today. Ronnie, I see you have your hand up.
Susan, can I go to the bathroom? Can I go to the bathroom?
Can you go to the bathroom? I don't know. Can you? I would assume, Ronnie, you have the ability. Now, are you asking, may you go to the bathroom? Would you like permission to go to the bathroom? Yes, you may go to the bathroom. Can is different than may.
It's too late.
All right, let's give Dr. Massey a hand. Thank you, Ron. All right. Let's throw the slide on the screen. How many of you remember this grammar lesson from school when you used the wrong word for this? You asked, can I? How many of you got the lecture? So I remember in the 5th grade, my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Gibbs, I mistakenly asked this question in the 5th grade. I was a slow learner. And she said, yes. She said, you have 2 minutes. She said, and if you are not back in 2 minutes, I'm coming in after you. She said, look, I got 4 boys at home. You ain't got nothing I haven't ever seen. Never forgot that one. So here's the lesson on this. This was a grammar lesson that we all learned years ago. The difference between can and may. Can has to do with ability. May has to do with what? Permission, right? Getting permission. And that's what we all really meant was, may I have permission to do that? We wait for permission, in many cases, for the rest of our lives, waiting for the permission of different constituencies that we look to give us that permission to move forward. Let me give you a couple of examples of this, how we misapply this lesson and we keep looking for permission to move forward. This one is huge in dentistry. What will all the other dentists think if we fill in the blank? Promote our practice. Do the Smiles for Life campaign. Do something different than what everybody else is doing. Because if you wait for them, nothing will ever happen. We too often look to our peers at what everybody else is doing for the indication of what we should do. Is that a good indication? Probably not. In fact, in most cases, especially in dentistry, look at what everybody else in your town is doing, all the other dentists, and turn 180 degrees in the opposite direction, and you'll probably be spot on. But yet we wait for other offices psychologically to give us permission. How about family members on a personal basis looking to what is the family tradition? Some of those are good, some of those not so good. So waiting for the family to give you permission to things that you could be doing to excel, to grow, to progress, to move on. Friends. Now, you all know the same because we talk about this over and over and over again. It's the feather philosophy. Birds of a feather. Let's try that again. Birds of a feather. And flocking causes birds to be of the feather. Meaning, we become like the people with whom we associate, the friends. So you have to be very careful who you flock with. Okay, it's early. I knew you'd get around to that eventually. But we wait, thanks for that. But we wait for permission from the peer group to move ahead, to create a personal culture of success. One of the things we talk about at Eagle U all the time is if you want to change your results, Many times the first thing you need to do is change your peer group to get a new peer group that will give you permission to move in a new direction. That applies at any stage of life. How about this? Comfort zone. Permission from your own comfort zone. We keep doing what we do because we've always done it. We get into this habit of doing things without even realizing why we do what we do. Does that comfort zone serve you well? We've done this exercise. I'm going to do it again. Everybody fold your arms, if you will. Very good. Now clasp your hands. As old Simon says, exercise. Now go back and fold your arms the opposite way you did the first time, with the other arm on top. Now clasp your hands with the other thumb on top, opposite way you did the first time. Now when you folded your arms, which way was right, the first way or the second way? Really? Has anybody ever come up to you and said, excuse me, your arms are folded wrong? Okay, is there a right or a wrong way to do it? No. So why do we say the first way is right? Because it is comfortable. So we wait for permission from our comfort zone, keep doing what we've been doing without realizing, you know what? We need permission to move on from that and create a new personal culture of success, comfort zone. And then how about this? Permission to say what? No. How many of you would admit that you're addicted to saying yes, which in some cases is good, but you say yes to everybody? To requests, for do things, in many cases things that you know that you shouldn't do. But yet we just keep, sometimes we need permission to say no. Recently, I took my daughter Avery to school early. So at our middle school, before school, they have 45 minutes they can go in for extra help from teachers. And so she wanted to go in for some extra help before a math test. So before we left, she goes, Dad, I need a permission slip to get in the school. And I said, well, why do you need a permit? She said, well, before hours, and if we're caught in the hall without a note, then we get in trouble. So I wrote a note. Avery has permission to go to tutorials before class, and then I had to sign it. And I was thinking about this session we were going to do this morning, and there's been, years people have talked about giving yourself permission to do things. And I thought, that's a valuable lesson. And how many times are we waiting for someone else to give us permission? These constituencies that we look to, many times rightfully so, we're waiting for them to give us permission. So we're going to do a quick exercise. If you will pull out of your basket, there is a stack of pink permission slips. Everyone gets a copy. They are blank. And let me share with you how you're going to do this. This is an individual exercise with which you are going to share with your table team. So, on the top line says student. Who's the student? You are the student. So you'll write your name, your nickname, whatever it is you want to write on the top. Then it says, has my permission to, and you're going to write down one area in your personal or professional life, as we've gone through that explanation, where you know it's time to get permission to move on, to do something different, to leave something behind that does not serve you well, to get permission from whoever it is that you have been waiting for to get a different result. Once you've written that out, then at the bottom it says authorized by. And on that line, you are going to write the name of the person, the name of the group, whatever it is that you have been waiting on for permission. Whether that's the other practices in your community, your peers, whoever it is that you have been waiting on for permission to move on and do something different. Get it? Now, once that permission slip is written, we're going to take about 2 minutes. And what I'd like you to do is to make a quick trip around your table and give each person just 5 or 10 seconds to share what's on their permission slip. Who have they been waiting for to do what? So if you'll make your way around the circle, share what's on your permission slip very quickly. We're going to move fast. We only get about 2 minutes, so if you have a lot of people at your table, you got a book on this one. All right? Get it? Go.